settings. Why is this thing? I'm trying to go live via two different devices. Only one is up. Only one device is up. Welcome to that one person who is here. Thank you for being here. Why is this thing not coming up? Why is this thing not coming up? I love kittens. Give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment. I'll be right there. I was talking and I thought my microphone was opened. I'm getting a call, so just give me a moment, all right? My little kitty, I was here talking, and I did not realize that my microphone was not opened. This thing, I'm trying to go live over here as well, and it is just spinning, spinning, and spinning. It wasn't saying that I was live or anything. Uh, Let me go back over here. My little kitty, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. I do thank you for being here. And you don't pay Zach any mind. He wants us to have an awful day. He would like for us to have an awful day. I think he too is having an awful day. And it's okay. It is okay. It is what it is. He is having an awful day. He wants us to have an awful day with him. All right, let me see. Let me try to get this up. I hope this will work. So I have a story for you all. Okay, good. So it's both of them. Finally, I had this thing was spinning, and I could not get it to start. So I'm streaming live from two different devices. All right. So if you hear me saying hi to someone who you are not seeing in your chat, maybe it's over on the other side. What you're seeing on one side is just a picture, but my voice is there. So I would like to share a story with you guys. Right now, I think I'm gonna have to go in because it is raining. I am gonna have to go inside because now it's a good thing we didn't go downstairs. It's raining. It's raining, so I'm gonna have to come inside. So give me a moment, guys. See them up. Let me go pick them up. No food for you today. Are you gonna cry? You wanna cry? I look at people like that. You know, so me not like how you look for me. You look for me like, no, me not like that. And yeah, like me I talk to her, and me I say, are you gonna cry? No, no, me not like that. I don't like it, Gabriel. I could be your mother, okay? All right, so here we are, people.
this camera is not good.
Turn on the light.
No. Turn on the light over here, something like that. Whether there or there.
Little
All
better?
right. Little better. It's raining outside and I had to come in, guys. All right. So welcome to everyone who is with me. Today I have a story. Rosie, you know you want to come in here, you know. Because you're not going to watch it. You're not going to watch it on that. At two different
Auntie Hannah?
Mm-hmm. So yesterday I started the story, and this story is about Marie. Marie was poor, and because of how poor and desperate or destitute that she was, no one would employ her because she didn't have any experience. So what eventually happened, she started to steal. And, you know, it has gotten worse because people don't like thieves. So everyone condemned her. But nonetheless, she had to do what she had to do. And she met a young man, a gentleman, in her stealing escapade. And that gentleman has tried to help her out of her desperation because he was asking, why is it you have to steal? And she tried to explain what happened. She tried to explain to him what has been happening. Mighty God. So, Cynthia, when me look on your phone?
Hi, YouTube.
Hi,
YouTube.
Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to find something. All right, here we are.
To uplift Americans on Medicare, his first Divine Act gives Medicare Americans a major new spending card with a massive benefit. Remember the stimulus checks?
All right, so let's see. Wait until it finish. So this poor lady, nobody liked her, but this gentleman, he says he's gonna give her a chance because that is the heart that he has. And in him giving her a chance, it is also a chance to help her to find herself, to find her footing. So you can go back and watch that video. So we are going to continue the story today. Welcome again, everyone, and thank you all for being here. Now, she has 2 children. Marie has 2 children. And why is that beeping? Give me a second. Because you haven't started it, have you? Give me a second. Surface light. Turn on the light. took her, he has a place of business that he put her in to work. She has started working for him. And what he has even gone further to do was to help her to get a vehicle. So he started training her on how to drive. He started training her how to drive, but then he's not a professional, so he paid for her to go to driving school to learn how to drive. And in so doing, what has happened is she has graduated. This man has to travel back and forth from the States to his home country. And he wanted someone, when he's not there, to do his business, go to the bank and do other business for him, picking up his children from school. We might see it as a lot, but he trusts her and he depends on her. Now, remember, this was a woman who was a thief, and she stole out of desperation. Now, persons would say, I would not employ someone to handle my money, knowing that she was a thief. She would go into stores and she would steal, but what she stole was food. If she go into like stores that sold clothes, she would steal clothes. But nonetheless, this gentleman took her, had her in his business place, and she was working. Now, he went on further. The gentleman but he took her to a car mart. He told her to buy something that she liked. She looked for the cheapest car. He was like, are you comfortable with that one? Are you sure? And she said, yes, that's the one that I want. Now, this was a car that was being used already, but it was cheaper for her. So he said he would help her to pay for the car. He's going to put the first down payment. He put the first down payment. She got her car. And I wouldn't say, we in Jamaica call those kind of cars jalopy, but it was not totally a jalopy. But she wanted to start from humble because that's how she was. She's not a fussy person. And it was okay. It was roadworthy. So she bought her car, and bit by bit, she fixed up her car. And when you see that car, you would not believe that this was a second-hand car. She saved, and she did the upholstering in the car according to how she liked it. It took her a while, but the gentleman wanted to help her, and she said no. She wanted to do it on her own, which she did. And while she was doing all of that, she was still finding it difficult, but she never complained. And the gentleman, as I said, he paid that down payment. She still had her children going to school. One of them is now in high school because this is a period of time. One is still in primary school. I think one would have been in about grade 5 by now, and one is in grade 7 in high school. So there's a little gap there. And she would take them to school, and those children, they never complained because that is how mommy grew them. They never complained. When they had to go into that car, because it was not one of those posh cars that you would be happy about, but it took them to school and it took them home safely. And she still had to train persons who would come into the store to work. And while she was out on the road, they would be in the store. And this went on. She sent her children through school. She was an only parent. She was a single parent, sending her children to school. Hi, Sadie. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. How are you doing, Sadie? I have to put the device down. Sorry about that. Because I have to put the device down because it's overheating. Now, the lady, she took care of her children. She took care of her car, and during the evenings, when it is time for the children to come from school, she went and she picked them up. And during this time, before she bought the car, there was a gentleman who came there one time to buy some stuff. And when he came and he bought his stuff, yes, they overheat real quick. Happy to hear you're doing well, Sadie. This gentleman, he came in and he saw her, he liked her, and he had a woman, but he was not married. But he saw something, and after going there for the first time and how she interacted with him, he never, that's the only place that that man shopped. So every time that he needed stock or goods, whatever, that's where he would go. That's where he spent his money. And he was drawn to this lady. And this lady kept pushing him aside because she says she has no luck as it relates to men. And she wants to have that companionship as it relates to God. She don't want to lose focus. And sometimes in life, when we get a companion, it happens. But anyhow, the man persisted because he saw something that he wanted. And as time goes by, that gentleman did not give up. Him and the other lady that he was with, they broke up because he saw this other woman and she was a gem and he had to get that gem by every means necessary. And the man bided his time. He waited and he waited. And after a period, I'm telling you, you have some good men. After over a year, she decided, okay, it seems as if he's serious and he seems somewhat trustworthy. She went out with him after a year, about a year and a half. And he has been going back to her time and time again. She gave him a chance. She gave him a chance. But she did not divert from her God. They went out on dates. And in those dates, he would keep his distance. They walked until they started to hold hands. And one day out of the blue, like that, he started to ask her what happened. And she started to explain to him how rough her life had been and how persons mistreated her, how they treated her because at that time she could not even wear proper clothing because of how poor she was and how poorly people treated her. And he said he understood because he was there. But what she did not know was that this man could have made her life a million times better than she was living. And during this time, the man saw that this was a woman of dignity, a woman with integrity, and he did not want to take that from her. He tried to offer her things and she declined. No, when they're going out, he would drive a car kind of battered somewhat. He would not drive his expensive car because that man had taste. And she would dress up when she's going out with him. This gentleman, he treated her like a lady. He treated her with kid glove. Okay? So it reaches to a point where He wanted more out of the relationship. She started now, while she's working, after she got home, she would go to her home, see to her children. They are big enough. They were now like probably early teenage years, and they would stay by themselves at home while she asked a neighbor to oversee their well-being. Those children were so independent, they could handle themselves. Mommy is not there, they took the burden from her. They would wash and they would cook whatever they could cook. They couldn't cook everything, but they were learning. And she did not have it so hard when she went home. And those children were filled with respect. Our children today, them not have so much respect. They are very disrespectful. And this was not this case. No, the gentleman asked her to go out to dinner. And she accepted. This is like 2 years later. To a where does I know, an intimate dinner, candlelight. She accepted and she went, and she was swept off her feet. They went to a nice little restaurant and she was enjoying it. When they went in and they seated her, he pulled out her chair, she sat, and they got their wine, and the setting was just divine. So while she was there and they were enjoying their meal, the man did not want her to see the menu because she's that type of person. And the gentleman was wowed by her. There's a word that they use. He was smitten. She was falling in love too, because how he treated her, yeah, it was hard not to fall in love. Anyhow, he waited, and 2 years later, he has never asked her to be intimate with her. We don't see that very often, but he decided that it was worth the wait. And he waited, and at that dinner, he asked her for her hand. He proposed to her during that dinner. And she could not answer. She just started to cry. She could not answer. And he was like, what did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? She couldn't answer. She ran out of the restaurant. Leaving the poor man, he was like, what did I do? She did not know how. She wanted to say yes, but she was uncertain. And for weeks, she would not speak to the gentleman. She would not speak to him. And the gentleman, he decided that he's going to find out at all cost. So he had a friend call her. And when the friend called her, he identified who he was, respectable person whom she knew. So she was like, I don't know, I'm scared. And he started to tell her a bit of that life, that gentleman's life. That gentleman had a hard life. He lacked love. She lacked love. His mother mistreated him. Everyone abandoned him. He started to help himself by going on the internet to learn. He taught himself. He could hardly write, but he decided that he's going to prove everybody wrong. And he fought on his own. And after hearing the story, she broke down again. because this was somewhat her life. M&G, welcome. How are you doing? She saw her life right there. And she felt so ashamed. She felt so bad. She said, I don't know what to say to him. I don't know if I want to marry him because I can't take being broken. This is not a woman who is a street girl who runs up and down. M&G, I'm doing great. I'm blessed. How are you? Thank you for coming. Anyhow, the gentleman told her, he's giving you some time, so take your time. Take all the time you need. No, this man, he waited another 3 months before she reached out to him. Because now he don't go to the store anymore. She's not seeing him. And she missed him. And this time she saved some money and they went back to the very same restaurant. And when they went back to the restaurant, she said to him, that he was glad, he was happy when she reached out to him. And when they went back to the restaurant, she told everyone who catered to her there and then that day what she wanted. And this time it was her treat. She apologized to him. He held her by her elbow and ushered her in. They drove their separate cars there and they sat. And when the first course came, she apologized. She told him how sorry she was. And that friend that reached out to her is really a true friend. And she's sorry for all that he went through. But he was like, it's okay. It's okay. Because he's in a better place. He's no longer that person. That person's perceived him to be. And all that person just came in. Welcome, Robin. How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. So she told him while everyone was there. She asked for the setting, the type of music she wanted, and funny, they had the same taste. You know what this lady did? She turned the table on this man and she went down in front of him. Now it was his turn to cry. She knelt in front of him and she didn't hesitate. She said to him, ask me the question you asked me the first time we came here. And he couldn't contain himself. He said with tears, will you marry me? And with tears in her eyes, she says, I shouldn't have waited so long. Yes, she sounded so desperate. No, this man was working behind the scenes. And the wedding was already planned without her even knowing, because he had such faith. He had such faith. No, she told him, I am not going to give up my job. She did not know that she was marrying to someone, not a millionaire, not a multimillionaire, but he had substance. And he said to her, I'm not asking you to give up nothing for me. All I want is your love. And they hugged and kissed right there for the very first time. But anyhow, Rosie,
You're not sleeping in the You're not sleeping.
But if you're here,
I'm still a listen. I saw me stay, Eileen.
Because you're comfortable. Hey.
Yeah, listen on.
So, guys, can you imagine? This woman, she went through so much. So much. We can't give up on people because we see them a certain way. We cannot look down on persons. She was a thief. She did not want to be a thief, but she could not survive without stealing. Her children had to eat, and by all means necessary. And the gentleman who she was working for, that was the gentleman who gave her hand in marriage. And she decided that she's going to continue to work for this man. She was paid very well. She was paid very well. And even though she got married to this gentleman, she moved in. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Even though they now have a life together, they treated each other's children like they were their own personal child. Her children were for the gentleman, and he could discipline them. They never hit their children. And you know, children, because it's not mommy's child or daddy's child, and they sat them down and they spoke with them and they said, you're going to love each other like that was your blood brother, your blood sister. I think I can go back outside. The rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. Give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment again. Hold on, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down.
Show you how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Still like that.
Yeah. Kind of behind.
Oops, oops, oops.
All right, so I'm gonna head back outside. Sorry about the interruption, guys. Yes, sorry about the interruption. So we are back outside. So now, what is happening? Thank you, Sister Evangelist. Persons had that lady to be nobody. We should not judge. We don't know how our stories are going to be. What tomorrow holds, none of us knows how the future is, how the future is going to be, what the future is going to be like. Because this woman, she did not see herself. She did not see herself in that position. And there are many times when she would reflect on herself and her life. That woman still worked for the gentleman. Through her struggles, that gentleman was there. And she saved. And she was able to pay back the gentleman. That was the dignity that that lady had. She paid the gentleman in full. She didn't give it to him all at once. And he told her, listen, as a gift, I would like you to have the rest. That's the money that he would have paid down for the car, her very first car. And he gave her a half of that money as her wedding gift. Our stories don't always end up the same, but the moral is still the same, however. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Someone is working for you, treat them good. If you are working for someone, be honest, be fair in your dealing. Whatever it is, be honest. All right? Our stories may differ because I have seen myself in that lady's story somewhat. Our outcomes doesn't always remain the same. It doesn't bring the same result. But the moral is the same. Treat people the way you want to be treated. All right? We will have another part to this story tomorrow. So stay tuned. I would like for us to start. I don't know what time is comfortable. I'm messing with the times. Messing with the times to see how best. Or to even maybe to premiere these stories instead of live streaming them. Let me know your thoughts. But I do thank you for your time. Your invaluable time. I can never pay you back for your time. I will either premiere these stories where I'm not interacting in the chat, or just post them. Let me know your thoughts. All right? But I do thank you. I do thank you for your time. And I pray that you will all have an amazing day. But we will have some more. We will have other parts to these stories. Let me know what you think about this story. And I hope to see you on the street somewhere. See you in another video. All right? You can type in the comment section to let me know how you felt about this story. Thank you, sis. Thank you. The story continues. All right? So you can stay tuned. I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep doing them like this, or to do videos, just vlogs, to post them, or to premiere them. But I thank each and every one of you who are here. M&G, Raban, child of God. Me always keep calling you Raban, child of God. Raban, courage. And Sister Evangelist Melvina. And my sister who is silently listening, all my silent viewers, thank you all for your time. And we will catch you all on another stream somewhere on the street. So until next time, have an awesome and an amazing day. Until next time, be blessed, be a blessing, walk good, but most of all, walk with God. Eh? Let me. Walk good. Don't get some. Walk with God. But it end. Mm-hmm.
man will have a shop and he want to marry.
Me know. That's how this story twists. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. See you on another stream. Okay? Until next time, be blessed. Be a blessing. Goodbye, guys.
You want to marry.
Me know.
Yes, ma'am.